The 2015 ITM Cup is proudly brought to you by the Tui Brewery.
The Mulu boys don't often get a dusting up at Waikato Stadium, but they did last week at the hands of Auckland. 50 points to 28, the final score. But the faithful have turned up again tonight, and they are excited about this team getting back on the bounce against the Stags outfit that had 53 points put up against them by the Lions side at Rugby Park in Invercargill. Waikato taking on Southland. Game 2 of round 5 of ITM Cup for 2015. And both of these teams tonight, atonement could be the key word in their preparations ahead of this game. Let's have a look at the Southland side that will roll up here at Rugby Park tonight at Waikato Stadium, should I say. And an unchanged front row, McIntosh, Halaholo and Miller, with Beckwith and Everson locking the scrum. Alex Taylor gets the start ahead of Bill Fuka tonight. Timmy Boys and Elliot Dixon rounding out the loose. Liam Howley to start tonight alongside Lima Sopawanga, who returns to ITM Cup action. Willis Halaholo and Kieran Moffat in the midfield with Keanu Kahukura and Junior Ngalawafi, joined by starting debutant 20-year-old Mike Malloy tonight on the other side. Time to welcome in Bill Allen to commentary tonight. G'day, Bill.
Thanks, Sumo. Yeah, a little bit surprised by those score lines last week. Waikato don't normally get a towel up at home, do they? So they'll be looking to turn their season around tonight because they were looking so good till that performance, really.
Well, it was only the 10th time in NPC history that 50 had been put up against them. So here is the Waikato side. Josh Honock, Harvey Pfeiffer and Ben Tamifuna in the front row with Tucker and Skeen. An impressive locking combination, that. Fedu Douglas will captain the side. Zane Capelli and Adam Byrne will round out the loose forwards. Brad Weber and Damien McKenzie again in the halves. Jordan Payne and Anton Leonard-Brown. Dylan Collier, Declan O'Donnell and Sean Stevenson round out the 15 for Sean Botherway tonight. Time to head sideline with Mr. Waikato himself, Matty Cooper.
Good evening, Sumo. Yes, my rain radar app says it's clearing, but that would suggest it's not. So we've got a bit of rain here all day, very heavy, southwesterlies. Great day to be sideline. Southland going to kick off, playing right to left on your screen.
Great to have you as always, Coops. You'll be looking towards Mount Parongia tonight, no doubt, giving us conditions updates all night long. And Whopper McIntosh, who spent 10 minutes in the naughty chair last week for a big punch thrown on Artie Savia, and then he didn't return to action. And many of us thought at the time that Coach Brad Moore might have been sending the big fella a message, but it just turns out he had tightened up in the back and he was no good to come back into action. So he'll be looking forward to getting through this one. And Lima Sopawanga in his 49th ITM Cup match tonight. Of course, he started in 2010 with the Wellington Lions, and it has probably been a tough couple of weeks for him, Bull Allen. A big chance for him tonight to get back on the horse.
Well, absolutely. I mean, lots of people, probably including myself, thought he was going to make the team and he would have been building towards that. So he'd be disappointed, but he's a young man. He's got a bright future, and what he needs to do now is just get back on the horse and perform at ITM Cup and keep in the eyesight of the selectors, because anything could happen at that World Cup.
Well, there's a man in that Waikato side who knows all about that. Stephen Donald lining up in jersey number 22 tonight for the Mulus. A welcome return to provincial rugby for a man who bleeds for this jersey and hasn't played in it since 2011. We all know that story. As Fedu Douglas leads this side out onto the park, Ben Tamifuna's gone nuts again with the hair dye. But a lot of attention too on Adam Byrne today. Not wanted for the first 4 games of the season. Debuted for the side in 2012. He's been put into the development program, and Coach Sean Botherway said he's been truly professional. He wanted him to go and work on his athleticism, that dynamic ability that all number 8s need to have. And it looks like Adam Byrne's heeded that message, and he's come back tonight fizzing up.
Well, it's a good story for anyone out there that's ever been dropped and has been told to work on things. Don't give up, keep trying. And I love it when guys come back, because it's easy once you've been, fall out of the scene to fade away. It's neat when guys come back and work hard to achieve that.
Jake Gunn is running the ball out tonight in the Waikato colours. Jake Gunn's 7 years old, and his favourite players are Richie McCaw and Damien McKenzie. 1 foot in home base there, as we have a shot of Adam Byrne. And the referee today is ITM Cup debut, Shuhei Kubo. He's done a few Heartland Championship games. He'll be supported by Michael Winter and Grant Stewart on the sideline, and Chris Stewart the TMO tonight, Shuhei Kubo. Big night for the referee as Lima Sopawanga kicks off here at Waikato Stadium. Inside the 22 they go. And straight away a run by James Tucker, who's pulled off 7 clean breaks already this season, young James. Into the hands of Weber and quickly to McKenzie. He'll clear from the 22. Finds the deck. So Ngalawafe finds Sopawanga. And he chases the nudge. There to meet it is Damien McKenzie. Taken down by Elliot Dixon, and they'll set the ruck on the 10-metre line. Weber is there. One out the back for Stevenson up from fullback. Not touched, but he just worm burns this towards the touchline, and Sopawanga happy to let it drift across.
How's those conditions sideline, Coop? The rain seems to be coming in pretty hard at the moment.
Yeah, it is, Bull, and it's coming in from, as I say, right to left, so they with the team that kicked off South. But good play from Stevenson, just using the ball. You've got a lot of those grubbers using the wet surface to try and get some yardage is going to be important tonight.
Dylan Halaholo waits for the call. Becky was called to the South plenty last week against the Lions. Look for him to do the Lions share again. This one goes to Everson, though. And Liam Howley, the teenager. Good kick from the box and overrun. Chance for the Stags, ball in hand. Mike Malloy sets play nicely for Howley. And they whip it across field. Sopawanga's pass too hard to handle for Kahukura. And referee will blow the scrum.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Southland, just starting to build a bit of pressure. And I like their approach, even though the conditions are wet. Looks like they're going to try and give the ball some width, which they did here, but it's just the accuracy of passes. As you can see, yeah, just that ball was dipping, wasn't it? Like a bad golf shot, it was just going down.
How's that rain radar, Coops? That's really come up trumps for you.
Yeah, the phone's smoking. I think it's got it wrong. So it seems to be coming through, and I think I'm going to be in for a reasonably wet night, I think, Sumo.
Maybe take that one back to Apps R Us. Full refund given. Maybe upgrade from the Nokia 5110 too, Coops.
Yeah, the pink one.
Solid scrum from Waikato, and referee blows this up again as the Southland Stags decide to send a message after the fact.
A little bit of after whistle action. That was a little trick in the old days we used to do in a scrum, even if because in the old days the call was crouch hit. The tight head used to call scrums in, so he used to just hit, don't worry about the ball and try and run over the opposition. But you can just see here for a period of time, look at it, just the ball. Waikato tried to hook it, and then it just sits stymie in the middle. That is brilliant. Good contest here. Big Jamie McIntosh, Ben Tamiafuna, and hasn't Ben Tamiafuna been going well? He looks like he's been doing the work in the gym, doing a bit of fitness, and he's really been performing well. Well, that's actually Josh Honeck, actually, sorry. So it's a good little contest going on this side, which is interesting. So Big Ben might be playing. We said numbers might be incorrect here in our program.
Big Ben showing his versatility, as that is a good touch finder too from McKenzie. Well, it's a great scrum battle when you look at these two front rows. Miller and McIntosh, no slouches, and Tamiafuna and Josh Honeck, certainly with great pedigree heading into this ITM Cup season. Tommy Favour, former New Zealand under 20.
Oh, there's some good talent coming through, Sumo.
Beckius calls and wins the line out, and Big Wop takes a charge. Straight into Honeck. Cleared downfield by Liam Howley. Got a good kick on him from the back of the ruck is Liam Howley.
He's a good little halfback coming in on the scene, first year. Like what I see. One of those sort of nuggety little halfbacks, isn't he? Like, they're like the Webbers of this world as well. Good player.
He's having a great learning experience too, Coops. I remember he got some game time against Auckland and then last week against the Lions, and he knows he's playing with the big boys now. McKenzie trying to find a way through the Southland defence, finds Elliott, and Elliott up to all sorts in back play as this one drifts over the top of Ngalawafe. Takes it back on his 5-metre line. He'll look for a touch, and he'll find a good one. Stevenson will think about getting on with the job here, but the chase line is quick enough.
Yeah, I can think of finding better things than Elliot Dixon when I'm running with the ball, that's for sure. Hasn't he had a huge season? Been a tremendous player this year. He's the young man. Stevenson, Sean Stevenson, he's got some huge promise. Isn't it great to see these guys showcasing all their skills in the ITM?
You know what it is, mate, and the other thing is it's a tale of two teams here in so many ways. You think a couple of Centurions on the field, 3 in fact for Southland, another one on the bench. Lima Sopawanga bringing up 50 caps against a team whose average age is around about 21, 22.
And that's what it's about, though. You've got to still have that experience in the team with the young blood.
Big chase line on Ngalawafet, and why would you throw that ball? Caught now on the goal line, Southland trying to find an escape, and it's Howley who has to run back to kick out, and that has not found touch. Southland under real pressure. O'Donnell, and Declan slips into the tackle. It's Beckwith who wraps him up. We'll get into some of these tackle numbers in just a moment. McKenzie, good hands in favour now. 2 in from touch, 8 out from the line, and the penalty goes to Waikato.
He's good down those outside channels, Fiver. He's very good. That's the lines he runs, doing a nice work there. Elliot Dixon. Well, we've already mentioned him. Huge work rate and just such a force for the Southland team. And if they want to get their campaign back on track, guys like him need to fire. And I'd be delighted, of course, to have Lima Sopawanga back in the team tonight. Coops, how important is he to steering the ship around?
I just kept thinking about how many international teams coming up to that reasonably big tournament in the next month would be wanting Lima Sopawanga in their side. But here he is, playing ITM Cup, and Waikato almost over for Fiver.
Oh, you see the disappointment on their faces. It was on. If that ball went to hand, I think Southland could have been in all sorts of trouble. But they dodge a bullet, they get a chance to escape. Let's have a look at it. Nice work move, just coming around the front here. Oh, you know, the cover defence was there. We've got to give Southland the benefit of the doubt.
You might have played Fedu just to run on a little bit and bring Fiver in late on that play. That is a flat ball, and Whoppers dropped it on the 5. McIntosh with the error. Now Waikato with a great chance. McKenzie keeps the leg drive going. Weber. Now that's like sending a mouse to a cat fight, that.
Oh, I love it. I love seeing the 9 and 10 trying to crank over from a couple of metres out. McKenzie showed some great strength, but this pass here, was just out in front of McIntosh. He was standing a little deep. Even though he's got big, long arms, he couldn't get there. And here's McKenzie. He had to do a lot of work. He's about 8 to 10 metres out. And look at the leg drive. There's not much of him. I wouldn't be too worried about him coming at the dinner table with me. But then the pick and go. And Weber, well, he's having a wonderful season, but probably not his job description from there.
He's worn one too, McKenzie, across the face. There's a bit of blood there, so that'll be interesting because people will be wondering who's going to get it. Who's going to get up? Is it going to be Hawera or is it going to be a man called Stephen Donald if he has to change?
It'll be beauty before age in that battle, surely.
Playing well. Waikato very accurate to start this game off. Southland too risky, playing too much football in their own danger area.
They've spent so much of the last 5 rounds on defence. And as the scrum blows up, chance to just to put that into some perspective for you. You consider Tim Boys leads the tackle count in the competition. Bill Fugafuga on the bench tonight is 3rd in that. Joel Everson and Josh Beckwith 4th and 6th. That is 4 Stags in the top 6 tacklers in this competition. That is an awful lot of defensive work to get through in 5 games.
I'm sure they'd prefer to be having the numbers around taking the ball up. That's a lot more enjoyable than tackling all the time. And what we're going on the scrum here, we've got Josh Honig wearing the number 1 jersey but playing tight head. Ben Tamiafuna wearing the number 3 jersey playing loosey. So they're mixing it up.
Well, they win the battle anyway. Ben Tamiafuna coming up with the win, forcing the referee's hand. And I wonder here whether Waikato might be best just to settle things down, take some points.
I don't know.
They're going to scrum it down.
Yeah, interesting. Coops, I don't know about you, but I'm sure you'd be a great believer in taking points, considering you used to be a goal kicker.
Oh, absolutely. You always take the points when you're a goal kicker, but I would suggest There's not going to be a lot of points tonight. It's very wet here. The rain's going to keep coming in. If you can get 3 points, get an easy kick, I'd take it.
Well, they may feel too that they wanted a little bit more for the effort and for the time they've spent inside the 22, but you're not Gordon Gecko. Greed is not good. Big scrum this. Tami Funa putting some real heat on that loose head side. Picked up Weber. Big dummy from him. Again, he'll always have a second crack. A pick and go now. Southland again having to defend grimly on their line. Pfeiffer had his own chance earlier, and Honeck does well just to avoid the first contact. Picked up by Tami Funa. They go again. It's Honeck. Helps himself to a couple more metres. Weber, McKenzie. Cross to shut him down was Alex Taylor. Big shoes to fill for Taylor with Fuka on the bench and Tami Funa. Speaking of just big in general, runs into the tackle of Dylan Halaholo. Skeen on a pick and drive. They set for Weber. Cut out ball. Stevenson stays strong in the tackle, going backwards. Remembering they turned down the shot at goal for the scrum. 10 metres out from the Southland line, they win another penalty.
Oh, marvellous defence from the Stags. They got penalised in the end, but gutsy defence from the visiting side.
Well, Waikato will be looking to get some points. Coops have been in the opposition 22 for 6 minutes out of the game's only been going nearly 12 minutes. So they'll be looking for some reward very soon.
No. From Iraq. It's offside, yeah. 30.
Well, they take the penalty now. I wonder what you've gained out of that as a team, though, Bull. Now you've been held out again by the Southland defence. You can say, well, we've tuckered them out, we've made them make a few more tackles, but you still haven't come away with a try. And Southland maybe have said to themselves, they can't score against us. We've got the confidence out of that play.
Well, a lot of teams do gain confidence by defending well for long periods, and I look at it this way: if they'd taken the earlier 3, they could have been back in here, and this could be mounting up to 6 points. That's the way I always look at it: a lost opportunity you can never get back. But anyway, they've rethought what they're doing. He's not going bad, this fella, is he?
No, he's kicking well, kicking very well. It's about 83, 84%, but I would have preferred the earlier kick. Here he goes, Damien McKenzie.
He's looking to bring up 150 points in ITM Cup rugby. Damien McKenzie giving that a good bit of shape as well. No mistake from McKenzie. And Waikato take the lead after 12 minutes of play, 3-0 over the Stags.
And Coops, I've got to ask the question. You've got your weather app. Was that your calculator app that you worked out that percentage of Damien McKenzie's kicking then?
They got all these apps going at the moment. But no, that's our good man Paul Naser, our Sky statistician. Waikato take the ball, start to build again.
Paul Naser loves a stat, and we love him for it. And that is a dusty old kick. Easy pickings for Joel Everson. Now the Stags with a chance inside the Waikato half. Halaholo busts the first. Can't quite get away. So Sopawanga finds Becuus. Accelerating through the tackle of Hami Pfeiffer. Not held was the call. Working their way up to the 22. Good period of attack this for the Southland side, that found it very hard to breach Wellington's defensive line last Saturday. Halaholo goes straight over the top. 15 out from touch now. The Stags roaring. Halaholo again. That is Willis. And it's there for Howley, who flicks it up one-handed back into the hands of Dylan Halaholo. Comes face to face with Jordan Payne and will set again. Still 10 out from the line. Sopawanga just held the pass for Moffat. And they've lost the ball in contact. Waikato now with a chance to counter from inside their red zone. We saw this last week, Ball, against the Lions. 4 times Southland inside the Wellington red zone, coming up with the error at the breakdown.
Yeah, and that kills your team, doesn't it? Kills momentum and just absolutely lets the other team in. You see the big smile over Mackenzie's face there. He's pretty delighted with that result. You see the injured player there. I think it's their lock, Jacob Skeen. Halahola just ran over the top of him. Dylan Halahola did a bit of damage on that run, and Skeen, yeah, he's a bit worse for wear. The big fella, he went down in a screaming heap.
He looked very athletic last week. He was involved in that wonderful Anton Leonard-Brown try, ranging wide down the sideline on a 95-metre counter-attack. There's the play.
Boomfa.
Yeah, he's got a shoulder, I think, around the jaw, and that he's not in good shape. So he's going to come and have that concussion test. Number 19.
He's been Mike Catted. That's what's happened there.
There he is. And David Morgan coming on to see if he passes the test, Jacob Skeen.
I've liked what I've seen of Dylan Halahola. His brother's not bad either. They're a couple of wrecking balls, aren't they? They get the ball and they're aggressive. They take it up hard, and they've been good for Southland.
Well, it's great to see him ball in hand in this game, and as I mentioned before, last weekend against the Lions, they just couldn't get penetration.
Come on.
So you've got a team that's anxious to get over that gain line, but no one who was making their mark.
Well, you need
defensively great, but
yeah, you need men like Halahola who are going to be direct, because we can get too sideways, can't we, in modern rugby? We need that direction, that straight up approach.
Speaking of going sideways, Southland go backwards and sideways, and finally the ball goes to Kahukura. 5 out from the Waikato 22. They come again. Sapawanga happy just to pass at the moment. We haven't seen him running. Remember, he pulled out of last week's game. Slightly lame, so this is a comeback in so many ways for Sapawanga, mentally and physically. Inside the 22 now, they'll set play. Dylan Collier with the charge. Now McKenzie drops it late. And Anton Leonard-Brown gets his offload away to Hami Favour. There again for Webber. And a change of tactic this time from McKenzie. A little more circumspect, decides to carve off some territory. Sapawanga returning fire and finding touch.
Just a sign there of the offloads. It's quite an interesting stat between these two teams. In terms of offloads, Waikato 60 offloads this season so far in 4 games, Southland 25. So they like playing a bit of rugby, this Waikato side.
Well,
It's at odds with their razzle-dazzle reputation, Coops, the Stags. Always known as the entertainers of backline play in New Zealand rugby history. Or not. They're doing what they do best here. Jamie McIntosh sets the ball. Howley gets it away to Sapawanga again. And that one's gone a little too far for Lima. And Stevenson easy pickings.
It's had a tidy start. Scotty Stevenson, Sean Stevenson, the Waikato, might be related. The Waikato number 15, young guy, only 18 years old, out of Auckland Grammar. Good start to the ITM Cup and his rugby career at this level.
Yeah, how could you tell he's related? I mean, look at the physique, the ability, the athleticism. I mean, it's like looking in a mirror. No relation, Coops.
one moves well on the field, one moves around the tucker table very well.
I do. He's good to watch, and he was great for Auckland Grammar School as well. And, you know, he was very keen on getting himself involved in a professional / semi-professional setup straight out of high school, and shopped himself around, had a number of options. And
Yeah, you're still pretty explosive over a couple of metres though, Scotty.
Happy hour, maybe. Halahola with a good throw. Southland's line-out hasn't been a drama for them this season. Whopper squeezes one out. A ball, that is. Howley. Taylor to the tackle of Adam Byrne. Welcome return to top flight footy for Adam Byrne tonight as well. Halahola. That is Willis and McIntosh, showing no signs of the ailment that prevented him from returning to the field last week. And an offload there for you, Coops. Just to prove they can. Taylor. And Whopper will call that an offload, but it was an error.
Well, there's been too many of those as well though, Scotty.
Simple conditions tonight as Howley goes in again. Now it's Elliot Dixon. Howley. It's a pretty tough ball for Lima Sapawanga, but they find some room on the outside. Here's Mike Malloy. 10 out from the line now. This has been a concerted effort from Southland. Inside Waikato's danger zone. Numbers wide, and boy spills it.
Advantage.
We come back for the penalty, but Timmy Boy's upset with himself.
Yeah, 3 on the 11.
Well, they've done all the hard yards, haven't they? They put some phases
Outside, 3
together.
on the
They
11.
found some space out wide, which is not always easy to
3
do.
on the 11.
And they just couldn't quite finish it off. So that's disappointing for Southland. They deserve more than a crack at 3 here. That could have been a nice...
Well, they created space, didn't they, Bull, on the right side there with Mike Malloy. That's a good piece of work from the Stags, and that time, there it is there, that lovely offload there. Showed a bit of speed, good change of direction too. Then they came back, and the opportunity out wide, the wide Sopawanga pass, good hands this time. And they had the numbers, got to straighten up. And there it is again. Geez, if that had stuck, he was in.
Yeah, he certainly had the number as a defender there, didn't he? But that's the way it goes. We've seen both teams guilty of those passes, trying to force them in conditions that are not ideal for doing long spiral passes always.
I wonder too, Bull, just through the hands was still going to get the job done there. Maybe always a little impatient, knowing that they've struggled to score points over the last few rounds.
Oh, you might disagree with me, Coops. I think sometimes we're preoccupied with these long spiral passes when just a very quick, simple pass will do the business.
Yeah, that's got a little bit of a props bit of advice there. I'll talk to you about it later, but they do work sometimes, Bull.
There'll be some coaching offers left later on. Lemus Sopawanga, it's his first 3 of the evening.
Just to let you know, too, guys, Jacob Skeeney did look a bit groggy when he came off. He's not coming back tonight.
Ball.
Oh, that's a bummer for him. Jacob Skeen has looked pretty good this season. His 12th match tonight. David Morgan, who had a bit of time up in Northland as well, back in the Waikato now. Tim Boys. He is the epitome of the provincial man, Tim Boys. Missed out on Super Rugby this season. Straight back into the Stag side and straight back into his mahi. Stevens goes high, and this one will drop outside the 22. Chase is there, but it's too far for that. Mike Malloy, happy birthday to him for last Wednesday, 20 years old. Sopawanga. There's good time on the ball, Sopawanga, and then a push in the back there, I would have thought, from Morgan. Not picked up by the referee. Alex Taylor looked to have been pushed out of the way. As Ngalawafe turns it infield for Sopawanga, and he will clear for touch. On with the show we go. Waikato wanting to play at pace. McKenzie. Went into the game on 50 carries this season, Damien McKenzie. That's the most in the Waikato side. Not a bad return in 4 games.
Oh, great turnover.
Stags come up with a pill, but it's a maul now, so Waikato may well feel they'll get this one back and dodge a bullet. Referee has called the maul and will now blow the scrum, so Waikato negate the turnover play.
Jordan Payne too, I think, Bull, the second 5'8". It was a great turnover too from Southland. Jordan Payne, the second 5, like all good second 5, straight into the rough stuff.
That's what we'd like to see. Because you played a bit of second 5'8", didn't you, Coops? You're talking yourself up a bit there, mate. But 5 are there. He took it in.
Dylan Halaholo over the top.
Fantastic. He's having a strong game, the young man. Now, Albert Grammar, exponent of their team a few years ago, championship team, in fact, when he was involved. Doing a good job there. It's a close-up of him. And they're doing a good job in the scrum, too. I'm enjoying this contest. There hasn't been many scrums, but it is a real contest. Both teams having trouble cycling that ball back to the number 8.
Well, there's old Honeck, isn't it, down to Scotty. Josh Honeck, very good for the Highlanders this year in the championship winning team against McIntosh. Used to be down there, apparently looking for a home.
Well, he's really turned his year around this year, Coops, because he struggled with the Chiefs last year, and he's really found a home and a good environment where he's performed well.
Well, it's Jamie McIntosh who's penalised again on an angle call from referee Kubo. Damien McKenzie, 23 gone here at Waikato Stadium. And we're level pegging on 3 apiece. Just the solitary penalty for both sides. Waikato had their fair share of opportunity inside the Southland 22 to start the game, and Southland in turn had their opportunity inside the red zone. Have a look at Wop here, just angled in, and it's easy pickings for Josh Honeck. Man with a long back against a fairly squat unit.
You'd be losing a cup of tea on that back, that's for sure.
Morgan at number 2 takes it in for Waikato. They try and set their drive. Southland thought about standing off and then realised that a couple of them had already committed. Fetu Douglas has the ball in his hand. And they march on. Splintering away. It's not one of the prettiest balls you'll ever see in World Rugby. And now the ball's gone forward.
Yeah, very disjointed, wasn't it? Southland did very well here. They got in there, they split it open, and they ended up with a couple of separate pods, so they lost their go forward. But good defensive work from Southland.
Yeah, they like that though, don't they? In these sort of conditions, it's a bit greasy, the interchange. I thought they did okay, Waikato, but Tim Boys, Alex Taylor, Beckwith, McIntosh, Dixon, you got some tough, angry Southlanders in there, and they like this sort of wrestle, don't they?
Well, they do, and they've got experience, Coops, and they've seen plenty of these dark places over the years, so they know what's required when they're in there.
Crouch.
Like a standard night at the Invercargill Spades Ale House there.
Sit. Sit here. Sit here.
The ball is there, then it's not, now it is. Liam Howley. Away to Sopawanga. This is his first real dig at the line for the evening. And they will win the penalty, just not getting away, Waikato.
Smart play, Elliot Dixon holding the player in, holding Webber in. He's learned a lot, isn't he, growing up, Elliot Dixon. Outstanding for the Highlanders. Just held the guy in. The referee was saying, move out, Webber. No chance.
That's a good kick from Lima Sopawanga too. Takes play right up to the halfway stripe. Elliot Dixon, we mentioned him earlier, great season with the Highlanders, and his strict adherence to the old-fashioned insulation tape around their head deserves praise as well. Cost effective. Loose at line outside, and Capelli pounces. St. Capelli looks full of life tonight. And up and again they go. Not held as the call. Douglas sets. Now McKenzie. And the line just went up and in on him. Now Halaholo bumping people off. Webber finally made the tackle. And this one is an error. They'll come back for the line-out.
I like what Damien McKenzie's trying to do there. He's not always just going wide. He's looking for those inside runners, and that's proving quite effective. But Southland had a good read on that defensively, didn't they, Coops? They got up, they read it well.
It goes well, the inside ball. More as the game goes on, Bull, when the players get fatigued and there's a flat line there, you can actually get a lot of inroads. Waikato, again, away from Webber.
Capelli in midfield, and Alex Taylor makes the stop on him, just short of the 10-metre line. And a big ball out the back to Stevenson.
Good line, guy. Good
And this one's lost in contact again. Declan O'Donnell with the error. Southland can see some space. And Keanu Kaguda looking for a touch in the far corner. And it won't cooperate. McKenzie back on his own goal line now. And he decides to have a crack. Damien McKenzie's away. Beautiful right foot step from McKenzie. Chance on the left-hand side for Tucker. You wouldn't bet against him. Tucker offloads, and now it's gone to touch. But Damien McKenzie, take a bow.
What about this? What about Damien McKenzie there? If he can break the first line, he knows I'm going to open this pathway, open the seas, and this time he did. McKenzie, beautiful running, looking around, lovely balance. But I tell you what, Liam Howley, the little halfback, straight in hard. Good stuff, Liam Howley. Big tackle.
Well, James Tucker's 112 kgs and he was at full steam. Yeah, great commitment from the young halfback, but McKenzie, he can break up a game when he wants to, can't he?
Shades of Brad Webber last week, Coops, on Mitchell Carpet on the other side of the field. Running a big diagonal back and deep. and making the tackle that counts. Now Howley will look for touch and he'll find it.
Just those few errors, though, Scotty and Bull, from both teams, actually, more so from Southland when they got right in the right position. It's those drop balls, those errors. That time there, James Tucker got barreled into touch. He got to fight to stay in. Ball control, that's let him down. Although, pretty good game on Thursday night here on Sky.
Yeah, not bad. There's been 8 handling errors so far, Coops, which I wouldn't have thought's too bad considering the conditions.
Well, it's been bucketing down in the city of the future today. Fedu Douglas, another great carry from the captain. 12 out from the line now as Tucker plays halfback. Ball is there and Morgan thinks about a dig, has one. Douglas again. And there's no way through there for Fedu Douglas.
Use it!
Waikato just need to show some patience here. Both teams guilty of being a little hasty when it really counts.
She's not going to break down those inside channels of Southland on the first 1 or 2 runs. It's going to take a few.
Wellington like to take them wide, and that's what Mackenzie tries to do here. Across to make another tackle as Tim Boys. And picked up by Big Ben. And Pami Funa almost through. He's wriggling like the world's largest salmon. 4 out from the line now. Waikato.
Offside.
And Kieran Moffat picks off, but he's offside, says the referee.
Offside.
Well, the 9 and 10 ball for Waikato, there's one of them. Gee, they work hard. They're little guys, but they've got a ton of courage. And there's the offside there from Kieran Moffat, the Southland centre. But I think you called it right, Scotty. It's just about patience, isn't it? You've just got to hold on to that ball. That was better play from Waikato.
I agree with you, Coops. I think if you're picking an ITM Cup team at the moment, Weber and Mackenzie, they'd have to be penciled into those positions 9 and 10. They've been outstanding.
It's a big salmon, Sumo.
Oh, yeah, it's legal size. That's for sure.
You'd need a pretty big freezer to put that in.
Make a lot of sushi.
It's good to see. Sorry, good to see him playing 10, Scotty, on a regular basis, isn't it, Mackenzie?
Well, I feel like it's both Mackenzie brothers' natural home, Coops. But of course, when you get the next level up, there's a fair amount of competition there. There's 5 franchises, so there's only 5 spots for a 10.
So, Coops, a quick question. How do you see Stephen Donald working with Mackenzie in this Waikato outfit?
Probably could be at 12, I think, sometimes. Well, you could put him at the back. You might put Mackenzie at the back and bring Donald on to close. A couple of options there, Bull.
Not a bad closer.
That's right.
Actually, speaking to the coach, Sean, by the way, just said how wonderful Stephen Donald has been in the environment since he's been back. And you can imagine that. He's a great team man as Beaver Donald, and the coaching staff as Damien Mackenzie converts the penalty 6 points to 3. Just raving about what he's brought to this team, the spirit he brings with him and the knowledge he's brought with him.
And that's often the case, Sumo, when guys go overseas for a few years. You hear them talk about how much they learn from other international players they play with in different environments, and them bringing it back to New Zealand, it's got to be great for our game here.
And you wonder what Sean, by the way, is thinking at the moment. He was not shy of coming forward in the press during the week and just questioning his players in terms of their commitment and their interest levels in the game after they really were blown off the paddock in that second half last week by Auckland. And Coops, they started so well. It's always an interesting move from a coach to make those comments publicly.
Oh, he's had a good start. He's young. He's come through the system, coached a lot of club rugby, Maris to a few championship titles. But he certainly is not afraid to remind his players about the levels of standard that he's looking for, and that's always good. They're pretty clear with Sean, by the way. Good start in his coaching career at this level.
Well, also a long involvement with Hamilton Boys High School as well, isn't it, Coops? And a school with a pretty formidable track record in terms of their athletic program. Here's Kieran Moffat now. Made the intercept earlier, but was offside. Howley. We're inside the Waikato half. And a kick through. Just a change of tactic from Southland here. That one will find touch just short of the 22. It's just a good percentage play.
I like Grubbers, particularly the way teams have flat defences today. It's a nice variation. Of course, the key to this is the chase line and getting in behind. And in that case, they got to the sideline, and that's a good option too, because they're in the right part of town to build some pressure.
A big space too, isn't there, Coops, between Stevenson, who's staying quite deep, and McKenzie, who's operating in that sweeping role.
Absolutely. And again, though, good exit at the moment, but this guy's under pressure. Good defence from the Stags.
Somehow he still manages to break 2 or 3. Damien McKenzie, play midway between the 22 and 10. Declan O'Donnell trying to will his way through a gap that wasn't really there. Brad Weber popped it up. That's a great inside ball to Douglas, and now Tucker over the top. Touch on it from Liam Howley, so advantage now. Honeck. Josh Honeck inside the 22. And Weber with the kick over the top for O'Donnell to chase. Elliot Dixon tried to shield. And Declan O'Donnell ran around him.
Well, O'Donnell will be a little bit surprised with that outcome. I would have thought, Coops, it looked for all money that ball was covered, and he just showed some nice pace. He chose his line well. Here we see McKenzie. Once again, he just opens the field up. By rights, he should have never got through there, but he's just so quick. Or foot James Tucker, he's been involved in a few big runs tonight, and the ball goes loose here, but they recycle again. Waikato Honeck, he's having a strong game as well. They really look like they're starting to enjoy themselves a bit out there, the Waikato team. And there's the kick through. And see Dixon, he slowed down and just tried to shimmy O'Donnell out of the way. Didn't work.
He was trying to block. He was just trying to block O'Donnell's line. And O'Donnell said, well, if you're going to block me, I'll run around you and dive on the ball.
Classy play from Brad Weber. There was always a difficult kick, but he just judged it. The weight of the kick up in the air, a little bit high. Knew there was a bit of space in behind. Classy play from the Waikato halfback.
Damien McKenzie looking to make it 3 from 3 for the evening, 6 in from touch. Oh, that's good. Gee, that's good.
Well, it's a lot of belief in terms of when you're a goal kicker, knowing that I've got to really strike it way out to the right because of this prevailing wind coming through. And that's a very good kick from McKenzie. He started it. But just the weight of the kick there, I mean, that's always difficult. Wet conditions, good chase though, great chase from O'Donnell. And it started from that man, Damien McKenzie. What a ripper against his old province.
What I like about that play too from Brad Weber is he would have noted the kick through earlier from Willis Halaholo. That would have just pinged something in his brain. And he waited for his chance. And he's pulled off a blinder. Now O'Donnell gets an offload away. And we'll have to come back. Referee Kubo finds the offside penalty right on the halfway line. And the Stags now with a 10-point deficit.
Southland are going to have to start targeting the ball in the defensive areas, because what's Waikato doing now? They're just starting to offload left, right and centre. So Southland are going to have to try and shut that down, aren't they, Coots?
Absolutely, and here we go. There's the kick from Weber, and just watch O'Donnell where he lands. Touched by a Waikato player deemed, and player in front. And Lima Sopawanga, probably in my book number 2 goal kicker in New Zealand. Going to have a go from a fair distance, so that just proves that they're desperately in need of points. They've got the breeze behind them, obviously, if you're going to line one up from this spot here. Good footballer, and not a bad footballer to be in our stocks that is staying in New Zealand while the All Blacks, and we wish them well as they leave tonight on the big tournament over in the UK.
And Coops, this is a good option from Southland, because at the moment Waikato are taking it to them, so it gives them a chance to just regroup, maybe get their breath back and rethink about their tactics, because they're struggling a bit at the moment.
Well, it's a better first half than they may have expected. Remember, they're coming off a quick turnaround. Saturday, their last game against Wellington, and a quick turnaround before that, and then lost to North Harbour. Some disparity in the statistics, which we'll get to in the halftime break. Meanwhile, Lima looking for 3, and it is there. Lima Sopawanga from shy of 50.
What a kick in these conditions. What a very, very good kick from a good footballer.
Well, you talked him up, Coops. You got it dead right. That was fantastic.
Well, those are big kicks, and big kicks win big tournaments.
That's right.
Jordan Payne looks on. There's Mackenzie. Goes deep with the restart. That'll hurt Waikato. They may have thought that they had just got some breathing room on the Stags side, but as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Paul, they never go away, the Stags.
Oh, they've got too much experience to just die away, that's for sure. They're gritty.
Here's Stevenson, and he's partially charged. Everyone on side, and now Zane Capelli loses the ball. It's there for Howley.
Advantage over. Still red. Hold. Yep.
Kieran Moffat, switch of direction, and the big kick downfield. Mackenzie is back, as he so often is. Great reader of the game, Mackenzie. And this one will find a touch as we settle things down with 10 left on the clock before the break. Not a lot of points and just the one try, but it's been entertaining stuff.
Oh, it has. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I think the people at home be enjoying it. It's a good contest.
7, 5.
Likely the last line out of the game, of the half, should I say. As Dylan throws. Impetuous. Straight off the top. Now Sopoaga. Looked to challenge the line. There to make the tackle was Mackenzie. Locked horns a few times this season. And the short ball doesn't work out for the Stags this time. Capelli. Caught on the 10-metre line. Back for O'Donnell. Knowing Waikato, they'll try and run this and score another try before the break.
Leave it to him. Advantage over.
And Webber says, no thanks, boys. Let's go and take a breather. Kicks into touch to bring to a close the first half here. Round 5 of ITM Cup, match number 2. And it's the home side, Waikato, enjoying a 7-point buffer over a Stag side that is kept in the game. We'll get some comment now from inside the Stags camp. And Kieran Moffat joins Matthew Cooper.
Well, thanks, Sumo. Well, Kieran, how'd you sum up that first 40 from the Stags?
She's very moist out here. We just need to play down here into the park. We're making too many mistakes and just not capitalising on when we do get down here.
Nice nudge from Lima to sort of keep you well in touch.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about. He's trying to put us in the right ends of the parks, and when we do get penalties, he's got to put them over, so we're going right.
Thanks, Kieran.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you, Kieran. It is moist in Hamilton tonight. 13 points to 6. Waikato leads Southland. Back right after the break. Welcome back to the Tron. It is a damp night here in the city of the future, and the halftime entertainment is a whole lot of people trying to replicate Stephen Donald's kick in the Rugby World Cup, which I'm sure Beaver thinks is the greatest idea ever. So Declan O'Donnell with the one try in the game so far. 13 points to 6, they lead the Stags. Sopoaga with 2 penalties. Mackenzie with 3 from 3 from the tee. And it's been really about Damien Mackenzie this night, Paul Allen. He's just looked so good. His touch is full of class and he's got time on the ball.
Well, it's hard to believe he's 20 years old. He looks like he's been a professional rugby player for a number of years. What amazes me about him, we know he's got the skills, we know he's got the footwork, but he just loves the contest. He loves to mix it up. He loves to get in there with those big fellas and just give it a go. And here's a nice clean break from him. That's fantastic. And then the vision to match. You can just sort of see him game by game. Sumo, he just gets better.
Well, a couple of big breaks from him, one almost leading to a try at the other end, and then this from Brad Webber. The kick over the top, and have a look here. The shielding job was done by Elliot Dixon, but he didn't realise that Declan O'Donnell just passed him on the inside. And O'Donnell said thanks very much, and then Damien Mackenzie with the conversion off the post. And O'Donnell happy about that. Waikato taking a 7-point advantage into the sheds. And we'll have a look at the numbers here, and there are some pretty key disparities, aren't there, Bull?
Yes, absolutely. Here we just see
inside the
the
sheds. Botherway's going through the motions in there, and he looks pretty animated as well, Bull.
yeah, I don't think you'd be too impressed, and I think once we see the stats, you'll see why. A little bit calmer in the Southland changing room. They would have been expected to come up here and get a bit of a towel up probably. So they'll be happy to still be in the game. There we see some of the supporters, and there's plenty of good local support here tonight, even though the weather's not really up to too much.
Those ladies are at every game. They love the Waikato. We're going to take another short break here on Sky Sport. We'll have the second half for you when we return. It is the local side in front. 13 points to 6. Thursday night rugby on Sky Sport. Welcome back to Hamilton, and Sky Sports coverage of ITM Cup continues here. Round 5, should I say. Game 2, I'm losing touch myself. Still plenty to come on the weekend as well, including 2 games, both featuring unbeaten teams. Wellington taking on Tasman tomorrow night from the Tin, and Hawke's Bay looking for their first victory in Christchurch against Canterbury since, get this, Bull, 1968.
Wow. Wow.
That's some history to overcome.
Well, they're trucking well.
They sure are, those 4 teams. Certainly Hawke's Bay and Wellington, the front runners in the championship, and Tasman and Canterbury showing their credentials in the premiership again. And we are underway in the second spell as the Stags look to bounce back from a 3-game losing streak, and that's not the way they're going to do it. Dropping the kickoff. Fidu Douglas took it in, and advantage now applying for Waikato as well. We'll hear from Matt Cooper in just a moment. And the ball goes through the hands, and somehow Payne ends up with it, takes it into contact, and there is Webber. Finds Adam Byrne. Capelli. Back for Webber, and McKenzie, they rushed on him, they had to. Tackle made by Willis Halaholo. Webber has it. Stationary, Adam Byrne, and they will set play around about 21 out. Tucker now. He's looked the goods in the opening spell. Now Tami Funa. Still some more foul play on the bench as well for Waikato in terms of big ball running props. Lonnie Uhula, the Tongan Bear, still to come in this game. Webber. Again they pop up, and again they just try to carve off meters around the fringe here. Tami Funa spins in the tackle, and Halaholo puts him down again. Southland won't mind this kind of defence. It's when they're stretched that there's trouble. And now they're stretched. Chance on the outside. Stevenson can't get the return ball. And it was a forward pass all the same.
Well, a lovely passage of play, wasn't it, of retention. Finally, the wide ball from McKenzie. As you can just see there, he decided it was on, though. The player was wide, but the execution wasn't right there. Just to confirm, no changes from both sides. Had a quick chat to Paul Williams, the assistant coach, as I was walking out the tunnel there. He just said, we've just got to make sure we don't leave it always up to Webber and McKenzie to do a lot of that donkey work, and that was a good sign that they'd listened, because a lot of the big boys got stuck in there, which was good for Waikato.
Well, I wonder too if they just need to focus, Bull, on maybe taking their play the same way, 4 or 5 phases, sucking that Southland defence across. Wellington did it so well, then heading the other way, where you may find that mismatch on the outside.
Well, as Coops mentioned, that inside pass works well later in the game where defences are struggling, but early in the game where the defensive line's very organised, it can get you hammered, particularly if you get your timing wrong. Interesting on your comments there, Coops. I can imagine that the Southland coach would have a very different message, and that would be get up in the face of Webber and McKenzie. Don't give them space and time, because that's when they really thrive.
Well, those first up tackles too, that's what kept them under pressure. McKenzie getting away from 2-3 at a time. There's Coach Botherway alongside him, Carl Hoft. Got the greatest smile of any front row forward in the history. Well, yours ain't bad either, mate. I'm not meaning to disparage you.
No. Oh, I'm a big fan of Carl Hoft. He's a lovely, lovely man, isn't he? Loose head prop. You know, they're all pretty good blokes.
Here's Capelli. He goes straight up the guts, and Webber now. Again, they drop it on the inside, and Tamifuna takes the tackle of Everson. And an offside play. Well done by Webber. Sucked the advantage out of the referee. One man of Webber. He could catch the roadrunner, Brad Webber. He's that quick off the mark.
Well, that quickness goes with his cleverness. That was fantastic play from him there. Bergquist was lying all over the place, so first he draws the penalty. He draws that and thinks, well, we've got advantage, I may as well have a crack. That inside channel's wide open, and when he gets space, this young halfback, he knows how to take it.
Oh, that's special, isn't it? That's about the speed there. Won the penalty. Everyone slows down a bit. Then he looks at the gap. Sopawanga on the inside a bit. He's a bit wide, and he's got too much gas. We know that. Great try. Number 2 for the Waikato team.
Pops a shark up too for the Dunedin club. We'll spend a long time in Otago. Still questions in Otago about why they didn't offer him a contract.
Oh, I think everybody be queuing up to offer him contracts now. He certainly looks one for the future in that black jersey, I would think, if he keeps going this way.
Well, have a look at his season.
Oh, outstanding.
Started the season, surely the backup to Tawara Kurbalo and Augustine Pulu, and found himself the number 1 halfback at the Chiefs. Granted that TKB had been injured, but there's some rise through the ranks for Brad Webber. And the kick from McKenzie is good. Geez, kicked well tonight, Coops.
Oh, he's kicked well in the last 2 or 3 weeks, actually, Sumo. So he's really got that rhythm going well in the goal-kicking front. But he's certainly not doing too bad at 10 as well. Bull Allen mentioned you've got to watch on. You've got to keep an eye on these two. These are the key thing what Brad Moores would be after. They didn't, and they paid.
Well, if I was Paul Williams, I'd be saying to the team, just leave it up to Webber and McKenzie. Webber now. And this one drops just over the halfway line. Dixon's there. And now Ngalawafi gets half of front row. Kick over the top. Howley. And Howley has put just enough on that. Assistant referee says play on.
I've been impressed with the young halfback, actually, himself. Liam Howley's done well. He only made his debut against Bay of Plenty a few weeks back, and he looks pretty comfortable out there, Coops.
Yeah, he's tough, isn't he? I like him. He's that typical nuggety halfback. Justin Marshall's another one. Jimmy Cowan. They know how to breed him, Bull.
Took the place of Scotty Eade in the starting lineup tonight, Liam Howley. Oh, a year ago, he's a schoolboy, I mean, for goodness sake. Now Sopawanga. Just get the feeling that Southland needs him to find something. Needs him to find that extra gear that we know he's got. Ball is there for him now. He doubles around, but he doesn't get it back. Miller. Back for Howley. Good ball from him. Halaholo. Timmy Boys holds on. That's the 22-metre line. The Stags now looking for their first try of the game. Guy Miller again.
I would suggest they need to score next.
20 plays 6 here at Waikato Stadium. No look pass, Boys. And he's held on.
And you've mentioned it before, Sumo. It's a tale of the way things are going for Southland, isn't it? They get in that strong attacking position. They put phases together, and just that accuracy when it really counts is letting them down.
That one's not out. Kieran Moffat is back. Gets a good bounce if you're a Waikato fan, and Moffat has to head almost all the way back to the goal line.
Stay right, hold, 3.
And he gets a reverse spiral, Coops. You don't see that very often.
Yes, I managed to do them a few times, and they're usually when you're not that confident with the spiral. But no, very unusual. Very unusual to see the spiral these days too.
I would like to start an official campaign to bring it back. It's been coached out of the game.
Yeah, well, it always looked impressive, especially from front row's point of view, because we couldn't do them.
That's right. Now Sopuanga, faked on the inside, found Halaholo, and he breaks the tackle. Boys, and great support. That is great play from the open side. Howley gets his pass knocked down. And again, Southland with the error inside Waikato's 22.
He ran out of support, Sumo. There was no one there. He just didn't have an option available, really.
McKenzie. He won't find touch. Mike Malloy. And Malloy dodges the first tackle. That was McKenzie chasing his own kick. How about the support play, though, from Tim Boys? And that one's gone forward, says the referee. Southland really the architects of their own demise here at the moment.
You're right about Tim Boys. He's having a good season. He really gets himself about, doesn't he? He's not the sort of guy that's going to bust it up 10, 15 times a game, but his support play is fantastic.
Well, here's the break, and there was Boys, and he'd come a long way too, hadn't he, to take that pass. And Howley was looking for any way through about 5 Waikato trees who had all travelled back.
Adam Byrne there coming back, the boy from Hamilton Old Boys, come back at number 8. He was the player that did well there in terms of stopping that flow of the game. But you've mentioned him tonight too, Bull. Willis Halaholo, the second 5'8" for Southland. He's been the most penetrative back. He's done a lot. He's looking likely, but he just seems to be a bit of a one-man band in the Southland back line tonight.
Well, he's creating some offloads, isn't he? He's taking it up, and what he is he's very strong in the tackle. And it's just a matter of getting support there. And as we mentioned, Boys is a good link man when he gets there, but it's the next one and the next one that they've got to put together. That's where they're falling down at the moment.
Well, also, in the subtle art of deception as well. Southland aren't a team that have brought a lot of deceptive backline players into their game this season. Not that we've seen anyway, they may well be training it, but the implementation of it during the game hasn't been. You just feel when you've got a powerful man like this, a little bit of deception around it can create that opportunity.
And something we probably need to acknowledge, it is Lima Sopuanga's first game back, so they're still probably feeling their way a little bit. Just getting that unity going.
Byrne picks up, and Weber now puts a little chip through, and the pressure is there, but it's not overbearing. And a chance now to break out of trouble. Malloy scragged from behind. Just a good old-fashioned jersey pull on him. Thought about the kick. Now Sopuanga takes on the line. In fact, it's Halaholo again. And Boys on his shoulder again. Howley. Sopuanga this time finds McIntosh in midfield. Back they come. That one's gone backwards. And a flat ball now out to Kokura. Can't evade the tackle, and he's gone into touch. He'll come back.
Well, defensively, Waikato a lot stronger to start the second half than they were against Auckland, and that was that they fell off a few of those tackles. Some big hits going on there. Hami Faiva at hooker just put on a huge hit. A lot better Waikato on defence, but they were offside. Penalty chance for the Stags.
Well, they're going to eschew that and decide to take the line out instead by the look of Lima Sopuanga. That's exactly what they do. And we'll be 10 metres out.
Well, I've just got to find a way to land that killer blow and get that ball over the try line. They're doing a lot of good
17
stuff.
phases of pick and go, I'd suggest to you, Bull.
But that wears you down. Phase after phase, when you don't penetrate and get some reward from it, it can get pretty tiring.
Well, they've got some big second rows in there. Beckius is one. Big Joel Everson.
Big Lurch calls himself again. And then they've come up with a mistake. Mike Malloy wasn't expecting it, but too quick off the mark at line-out time.
Yep.
I've got to say this. Shuhei Kobu has had a good game.
Agree, absolutely agree.
His first ITM Cup game. In fact, speaking to Bryce Lawrence before this game, he refereed a Heartland match, and the talk around town after that last week was that He's one of the best referees they'd seen in the grade.
Well, it's hard not to notice a man wearing pink, but he's just got about his business tonight, and we haven't really mentioned him. So that, to me, is a good sign. He's doing a great job.
Shuhei Kubo.
And isn't this a great initiative? Having referees come over here and get some experience in our ITM Cup. It's good for the game.
Well, that's right. I mean, the concern, of course, for the players and coaches is that you still want them to be up to a level because this is a professional competition. But New Zealand has been very forthcoming in helping out Argentinian referees, Japanese referees, and it is. They bring some flavour to the game.
Change at halfback, Sumo, for the Stags. Scott Eads on, and he's replaced what I thought was a good performance from number 9, Liam Howley.
Well, a good start from Liam Howley. He was good tonight. As I mentioned before, Matt, he's had a tough introduction to ITM Cup football, playing some very big teams early in his career. He's going to be fun to watch his progress through the grades, Liam Howley. I think Corey Jane gave him a lift in the face last week, just as a welcome present. Scotty Eads been around now. He knows what needs to be done, and he'll enjoy working with Lima Sopoaga. Perhaps that combination may just snap back into some muscle memory throughout the rest of this game.
Well, it needs to. This is a great opportunity here for them, and they've chosen the scrum as opposed to the kick.
Now Laffy, fullback on the right-hand side with Malloy. Malloy's been good too from the Stags. Let's see if they get into the hands of Sopoaga.
Eid now backs away. It goes to Sopoaga. And the kick over the top. The chase is there. What a play that is!
Oh, brilliant.
Referee will have a look.
You're happy with the onside behind the kicker? I'm not sure who in front of the kicker, so I check.
They're going to look at the offside line. Grant Stewart says he's happy with the play. Kahukura was the man who scored the try.
I'm happy
and
with
a clever scrum split
can you check
from the Southland Stags.
Was he in front of the kicker or not? Yes, please. Thank you.
Well, it looked $1 million at first glance. Very clever play from Lima Sopoaga. We're sort of waiting for that spark from him, haven't we? And he certainly delivered there.
Well, also, what a great tactical substitution. Scotty Eade coming on, substituted for Liam Howley. And an attacking scrum, 10 out, played his role perfectly. So did Dixon, so did Sopoaga, and so did Keanu Kahukura. Great tactical substitution from Brad Moore.
Yeah, good coaching. Certainly looks all right here on the replay at first glance. Let's have a look here. Oh, I don't see too much wrong with that, Coops.
Oh, he's well onside.
Yeah,
No, it's fine.
Yeah. Good 5 metres by the look of it. It's always a bit more difficult in real time than we get the slow-mo though, isn't it? So, wise decision, go upstairs, have a look, make the right decision.
Yep. Yeah, thank you.
Decision is good. Southland get their first try of the evening. And the gap closes to 9. Kick to come. Lima Sopoaga combining with Keanu Kahukura for his 4th ITM Cup try.
Well, I just got pushed away nicely by Chris Stewart, the TMO. That's what you have to do, so I was a bit quiet. Now I'm going to say this is a special play from the All Black. Outstanding play there. Just the judging was perfect. Good scrum there off the back from Dixon. That's a lovely play. That's a Highlanders play as well. Great play.
Bit of competition down there for the monitor, mate.
No, he's a bit older than me, so I'll let him in. No problems.
Two from two tonight for Lima, including one from 50 metres on the angle. That was some nudge. It's right on his range as well. It's just dropped over the bar. There's no diagrams on the scorecard. One in from touch, Lima Sopoaga looking for the conversion. That one's away.
Yes.
So 9 points the difference, 20 points to 11, 1 try apiece.
Yeah, a few changes too for the Waikato side. We've got Loni Yuhila. He comes on for Benny Tamiafuna in the front row. Wharanui Hawera, he's replaced Sean Stevenson at the back for Waikato. And Ash Moeke, he's replaced Junior Nalalafi for Southland.
The Tongan Bear on for Big Ben. That's a switch.
He did a bit of a demo job against Plenty a couple of weeks back,
Did
didn't
he what?
That was unbelievable.
They're still repairing the divot.
Oh,
Stay.
it was impressive.
This one looking for touch, and it won't find it. So Waikato in good field position here. There goes Adam Byrne. Work on my athleticism, he says to the coach. I'll show you. Sets up the try, that's their third. Dylan Collier gets number 3 off a special piece of Adam Byrne magic.
It was a bit of left and it was a bit of right. Nice line here, he takes it, he's a long way out. Beats the defender, he goes inwards and then he looks to the left. That's clever because he had support either way and he made the right decision.
Well, he was asked by Coach Sean Botherway about getting more explosive with his attacking game. We know how good he is with his defensive game, Adam Byrne. There's the try scorer, Dylan Collier. But you put it all back to the number 8 who's returned in the Mulu colours, Adam Byrne.
Not required for the first 4 rounds of the competition. Sent back to development footy.
Well, the message has obviously got through loud and clear because that was a beautiful bit of individual play, wasn't it?
Behind the Stags is a footballer that last played in New Zealand back in 2011. He's warming up.
I'll go tell him not to warm up too much. He'll pull a hammy.
He's been stretching it for about the last 10 minutes, Scotty.
Got to tell him not to wear himself out.
The jersey's a better fit.
What a sight. Well, I tell you what, Matt Cooper, you were here with me the last time he played on this ground. It was against Auckland in a game where they needed a bonus point to make the final. And he scored the try that counted. Damien McKenzie, and that is outstanding.
Classy performance from the Waikato first 5 tonight. That's a lot better, that jersey fit, isn't it, Sumo?
Not quite as offensive.
I don't know, I liked it.
Did you, mate?
I'm a fan of the crop top.
Right back in the 80s on...
Yeah, do you know what I love about this, though? As the game continues here, but
Take him back.
he could have lived off that one kick in a World Cup final for the rest of his life. He wanted to come back here and contribute again to the province he loves. That is special to me. And that says everything you need to know about the bloke. Kahukura now toying with the touchline, managed to keep it in field. And inside the 22 now, Waikato under a bit of pressure of their own, although they have some leeway now in terms of the scoreboard. And Southland driven back inside their 22. Lima Sopawanga has plenty of time to make a decision here. And double pumps and finally gets the pass away to Malloy.
Take him back.
Now the kick from Ash Moege.
Get excited!
Straight to Weber. Weber with a fend on Whopper. What? Oh, he'll remind him about that all day.
I think he lifted him off the... They're having a conversation. I think he actually lifted him off the ground.
I just can't believe I've just seen that. Did Brad Weber just stiff arm Jamie McIntosh in the face? That is outstanding.
Blew a couple of chin hairs out of the way.
Look
that's for
at
sure.
that.
Look at that.
He's fish hooked him.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Get out of my way, big fella.
Okay, guys, keep it up.
He actually jumped up to fend him, I think.
Yeah.
Shades of Grant Batty.
Oh, superb.
Time off. Time off. Right. 4, let off.
Michael Stewart coming on for the Stags, replacing Josh Beckius.
Time on. Time on. Let's go.
Beckius has been as industrious as ever tonight. Doesn't get a lot of reward for his effort, Josh Beckius, but he puts in a shift every time.
Let's go.
Mike Stewart.
Every team needs the grafters like that. The people that respect the most are the teammates.
Sorry, Bull, I was just mesmerised by Mike Stewart's moustache.
Bind.
What's he doing there? He's rolling some program. Into the final quarter here. And the Stags need something on the board and something quickly. Waikato now looking pretty comfortable. That's a better ball. Trying to get Sopoaga on the outside. And they have to release. They do so. Eid puts it away to Mweki. Now with dual pivots in play, Southland. Eid again finds Mweki at first. A kick through from Kieran Moffat, and you could hear the angst in that groan.
I could sense the delivery. Waikato keen to get on with it. Know what Moffat was up to, but turned it away. Quick throw in from the Waikato boys.
Collier got it back to McKenzie. And now the Stags looking to take Waikato wide this time. Halaholo starts running the wrong way. He's having his own Forrest Gump moment there as we head back to the left. Moffat again. I will say this for Damien McKenzie. He's a lock-in for the hometown hero in this game. He's making his tackles too. As the Stags make yet another error, and really, having been there in Invercargill last week, I feel like this is on repeat.
It's a good point, actually, Sumo, about McKenzie. God, he's courageous, isn't he? He's really tough. Big heart change there too. And we've got number 20, Mitch Jacobson from the Hautapu Club, replacing the open side flanker for Waikato. He's done a good job, Zane Capelli.
You're right about Damien McKenzie. He's courageous. The guy's 81 kilos. That's not much, is it? For the way he throws himself around. We've been talking him up a fair bit, but he deserves to be talked up. He is outstanding. I've got a 13-year-old daughter that's nearly that big, to be honest. You know,
she's going to be thrilled that you've said that.
She's a beautiful specimen, mate.
I'm sure.
Tall.
You should know not
very
to talk
tall.
about a lady's weight on national television, Paul Ella.
He'll be dangerous here, though, Bull and Scotty. Weber at 9. McKenzie on the open side. We'll move on from the...
Yeah, I'm in trouble, aren't I, Coops? You've got a 13-year-old daughter.
Absolutely. And I'm not going to go anywhere near there.
I was only joking, mate.
So it's all about scrum time here. Adam Byrne at number 8 for Waikato. But there they are. McKenzie, dangerous there, coming on the open side. They've actually numbered it up. That's how much they're worried about him. They've actually got 2 or 3 players over there on the left side.
This is some setup. It's like a Mighty Ducks flying V.
On binding, city.
Meanwhile, Steve Donald continues that warm-up behind the posts.
That could go for another 18 minutes, Coops. And this game only has 17 left.
Crouch.
It's all little mind games going on at the moment, isn't it?
Bind.
What a sight. What's he doing? What's he talking about?
Sit.
You can tell he wants to get on there, the big fella. And the Southland scrum has just hammered Waikato. Tim Boyce on the deck with Brad Weber. Fetu Douglas has been quietly achieving this evening. Fetu Douglas, and that one's partially charged onside. And Keanu Kahukura can't get away. That was a good tackle too, made on him by Wharanui Hawara. Dixon sets for Reid. Now Ash Mweki, who's found himself quite comfortable at first receiver. Lima Sopoaga will now slot into that position. And he gets it from Miller. And he's up high. Lima Sopoaga managed to transfer the ball though.
Leave it.
And into touch from Southland. Well, again, they're just missing a little bit of ambition on the play. Late in the phase count, Southland. And that one has been taken back. So they'll have a reprieve here, the Stags, and get good attacking ball to work with.
They're just making the little gains without getting big reward, aren't they? It must be frustrating for them. But we've got to give credit to the Waikato defence. They're coming up, they're cutting down the Southland options very quickly, and they're just having trouble penetrating, aren't they, Coops, Southland at the moment?
Yeah, they have, and but they've been also their worst enemy with the offloads sometimes and their skill level, the execution. But Waikato better on defence. They were poor in the second half against the Aucklanders here at Waikato Stadium on the weekend, and they would have done a lot of soul searching.
I can tell you that the Stephen Donald warm-up clock has just passed 10 minutes.
Well, he's going to get a boarding pass, which is going to be great to see, not only for the Waikato fans, but for the New Zealand rugby total.
There's a bust, a rear bust. Willis Halaholo it is. And Sopawanga turns it back in field. Mwiki. Slowly for Reid it comes. Now Sopawanga again. In fact, Willis Halaholo again. Same colour boots, so... Hey. Whopper McIntosh. Can't quite get there. Now the pick and go. Dylan Halaholo's over. Can he get that down is the question. They'll have a look.
Well, and you wouldn't believe who's the man under the bottom of that. Damien McKenzie. I think he's been held up. Excellent defence. Dylan Halaholo, we've seen him. He's good in close exchanges, but I don't think he got that one down.
Try or no try is the question from referee Kubo. Chris Stewart will make his way to the sideline monitor. It was good from Southland. Suddenly they just found their way through that first up tackle. Again, it was Halaholo and his brother. I think he gets us down. Right there.
Well, I hope you're right, but I'm not too sure.
You're right about McKenzie. He was right underneath.
Yeah, I just noticed that knee band. He got in there somehow. I just thought I saw a hand come under the ball on his first stab at the grass, but this will give us a bit of a look, and maybe not. I think that's no try. What are you going to call, Coops? Put yourself out there, mate.
Well, he's had to walk away, Bull.
Oh, of course he has.
Chris Stewart's taken his monitor.
That's right. He's out of town.
You know what he's calling anyway. He's calling great defence, Waikato. No try.
Yeah, that's right.
I can almost guarantee that. Well,
it's inconclusive, I think. You disagree?
No, I'll say this is no try. On the second look, Bull.
Yep.
Have a look at the work here from McKenzie. Can you see that touch the ground? There's a hand underneath, and I'm pretty sure it's Damien McKenzie's.
I don't know where that hand came from, but it seemed to get right on the point of the ball. Superb play.
This is the look. He had one chance here, Dylan Halaholo. And look at that hand right at the last minute from Damien McKenzie. Gee, that's a special piece of defence. Here is the call from the TMO.
Yep. May I try? Okay. Okay, I will try. Thank you.
Well, there you go. The try is scored. Damien McKenzie can't believe it. And quite frankly, after 4 looks at it, neither can I.
No, I'm surprised by that decision. I didn't see anywhere in these replays where that ball touched the grass. But anyway, what do we know?
Stags will be pretty happy, though. 27 plays 16. Dylan Halaholo's on the score sheet. And it was pretty consistent work from their big boys. Everyone had a dig, and this was the final movement.
Oh, well, that's good reward for Dylan Halahola. He's had a strong game. And when Southland have managed to get things going tonight, he's been one of the instigators.
Matt Cooper still on shock sideline.
No, I'm back, and I've got quite a few boarding passes to announce shortly for these both sides, but good play again, and Southland, 67th minute, Sopawanga going for 2 more after that try.
And that's big kick this. Stephen Donald warm-up count now up to 12 minutes and 4 seconds. Sopawanga, and that is good from him. 18 in the bank now for the Stags, 27 for Waikato. Still 2 scores away, but the tails are up.
Yep.
So the changes there, David Hall's on for the Stags as well. Bully Fuka as well for number 8, Elliot Dixon. David Hall. Steve Donald's moved from the back. He's coming down sideline.
Special moment for David Hall there in jersey 16. his 100th ITM Cup appearance today. Already 100 first-class matches for Southland, but including his time with Northland, this makes it 100 in ITM Cup. We congratulate Crazy Hall on that fine achievement. Here is Mackenzie. Weber, infield this time. Morgan, good on the play. Up to the halfway line they go. Here's Harwood. And Wharanui was set just on the Southland side of the halfway stripe. 68 gone, Uhila. Again, it's the inside ball from Waikato. Just trying to make Southland stay tight while they take them a bit wider. There is the break. Harwood again. Sets up 20 out. It's a pick and drive. This is better from the local lads. Now O'Donnell. Harwood looked in field, caught on the 5. Weber. Big setup from Weber. Looks to be over. Not quite. Yes, they are! Well, the referee awarded the try. Now he's changed his mind. He wants a second look.
Well, this guy slipped in there as well. He's going to check, but he slipped in there, and that's the debutant from Hamilton Old Boys.
That's right.
Tyrone Te Rurukua, who's just come on, and what a moment. He's the latest Waikato representative. They're going to check.
Timo.
Tyrone Te Rurukua.
Yeah, can you check?
Former Wesley.
It was short.
College boy.
And can you check double movement or not?
What a start, Sumo, if he comes across. Debut, he's only been on for a couple of minutes.
Yep.
We'll have a look again. And Bill Allen and I will just give up trying to guess.
Yes, I've making a habit of getting it wrong, actually, so I might just be quiet this time. But it was some nice punch, wasn't it?
Well, in some ways, it was their most fluent set of phases in the game. Everyone looked to know what was happening. The inside ball was working. They're calling on a double movement here. And that's what they'll look at. Grant Stewart was the man advising referee Kubo on the sideline.
But initially, he was certainly well short. The question is, was it momentum that took him over the line, or was it double movement?
He was using hands. Yeah, and then moving.
I feel that he's completely legit here, Te Ruruku. That's where he lands on the deck.
Using it.
And he's a long way from the line there. And then he rolls over. We saw an example of this already this weekend in a double movement call. In fact, last round, should I say. Interesting to see the interpretation here. 20 years ago, you'd be done for a rabbit. While we're watching this, I mean, there's no way Waikato should lose this from here. You consider their vast advantage.
It'll be quite important too, because it's going to be that bonus try if they get it, Scotty. Their fourth try.
Chris, can you hear me? Chris, are you there? Chris
Stewart is having a long look at this. I've got to be honest with you.
Chris, are you there?
You're not going to see anything different the more you watch it.
No, this time is a decision. We should get a correct one.
Okay. So your decision. Okay. No try, double movement, penalty. Double movement.
So after all of that, the call went back to the referee, your call. And the penalty has gone to the Southland Stags, double movement. Stephen Donald,
Sorry, boy.
after a 15-minute warm-up, he looks tired.
He's done some hard yards on that
He looks
sideline,
tired.
hasn't
I'd send him straight for a shower. He's done enough.
he? He looks like he's had a shower, mate. He's got the big bead on.
Good story though, isn't it? 3 years, about 11 months since he last played on New Zealand rugby, on New Zealand soil. The Beaver is back. Look out, World Rugby. He's back on the field.
Let me tell you this right now. He wasn't getting that cheer when he ran on in 2011 on Eden Park. It's amazing what 4 years can do for fans. One of the great men of the game, and what a privilege it is to be in the commentary box on his return.
Good things happen to good men, and this guy's a top bloke.
Stags win the line out. Looks shifty. They get away with it. It's knocked on by Waikato, so they'll have a scrum under pressure.
Geez, if they get some territory, I mean, that's the key for the Southland side, is to get some territory now, because 27-18, 10 minutes to go, a quick try, she's all on.
Alex Taylor. Still no sign of Bill Fuka. He's had a big workload as Big Bill this season, so Alex Taylor may well be asked to go a few more minutes at least.
Sit!
There is Fuka. What am I talking about? He's in jersey number 20. Playing at number 8. Scotty E. And this one has gone through 2 sets of hands and over the touchline. And the referee says it's a knock-on. Play on! And Tim Boyes read it beautifully. Went up to disrupt the play. And because that was knocked on and over the touchline, the line-out counted as the play. Now here goes Sopuanga. Kieran Moffat, 20 out from the line now. It's the Southland Stags with the wind in the sails. Crazy Hall taken down, 20 out from the line. And there is the bust from Ash Maweki. Go good a set. There again. Sopuanga out wide to Fuka. Big Bill holds it up for Tim Boyes. Still they come. There's the try. Kieran Moffat in the corner. What a play from the Stags.
Well, I heard one of the players say it, great effort, wasn't it? We've talked about them being able to finish tonight, and it all started here. Moeki, he makes the bust, and it's a clean bust, and then he's able to offload, and that's the key to it. You get behind that defensive line, quick offload, keeps the momentum going, and then it's just a numbers game, and it's just a beautifully timed pass.
Yes, Milwaukee, he slipped the Josh Honeck tackle, didn't he, further back. There's the finish. Moffat been strong in the midfield for the Stags. Big kick from Sopuanga. Difficult area of Waikato Stadium to kick from with that wind. He's going to have to aim out right out to the right. He gets this over. Look out, the Stags are back and they're rumbling.
Well, regardless of whether the kick goes over or not, it's a one-score game with 2 teams chasing a bonus point and looking for their first win after a 50-point humping.
It's not going to be bad last 7 minutes, Sumo. Been a good match.
I'm thinking about 10 metres to the right-hand upright here, Sumo. Maybe even more to swing this around.
Lima Sopuanga. On the other side of the field, Stephen Donald. There it is from Lima. It drifts back. That is a classic. 2-point ball game in the trot.
Outstanding kick from Sopuanga. Kicked a 50-metre with ease. And there he is, bangs a critical one from the sideline. We've got a real finish on our hands now.
Well, we've been treated to some fantastic goal kicking from both the kickers tonight, Coops. You kicked a few on this field, mate, over the years.
Oh, the old rugby tart. Atu Molly, he's replaced Honeck.
Now the Stags, again they're pinned in their 22. The deep restart from Waikato. And they can't get on with it quickly here. Brad Weber just has to settle things down. It'll be a Waikato feed. 5.5 minutes remaining.
Risk or reward, who wants to win it here tonight, Thursday night on Sky? 2-point ball game. Who's going to play poker here? Who's going to take the risk?
Southland get the steal. Big lineup from them. Goes from Aweki to Halaholo. Moffat, the try scorer. Almost a strip on Howley, but on Malloy, should I say, but he holds on. Fuka now. And Halaholo throws a wide ball out to Alex Taylor. Slips in the tackle up to the 10-metre line. Fuka again. Sets play. Scotty E to Ash Mweke. McKenzie, as always, underneath the kick. He goes high. Chase from O'Donnell, and it's a good chase, and he flattens Scotty E, but Whopper is there. McIntosh, now Southland under advantage. Kaukura, up to the halfway line now. Southland. Around about 4.25 remaining. There again for Reid. Phase after phase at the moment for the Stags. Sopuanga. Can't break the tackle. Good support. Hall and Taylor. Mweke. Morgan Mitchell was up in the line. Now Willis Halaholo. Got his pass away to Malloy. And they come again. Bill Fuka. Into the tackle of Stephen Donald. Donald's rucked out of the way. Midfield.
We're in the Sopuanga zone, aren't we? The Sopuanga goal-kicking zone too. Remember that?
That's where they want to be. There's Malloy again. Hungry for work late in the game, Mike Malloy. Mitchell's put down. Mwike's got his pass away. Halaholo now for Sopuanga. And Lima ran a big parabola back in field. Goes to Mitchell. Big ball from him to Fuka. Ball picks up, looks up. And the ball is there, and they're still there, the Stags. 2 out from the 22. This is relentless. Everson, isolated. Pants down. It's all happening in the penalty too.
Oh, I think you used the word relentless there. There were some serious phases going on there for Southland, but they just ran out of numbers in the end. Player got isolated, and you can just see the body language of Waikato. A couple of them are bending over. They have defended, and you've mentioned it many times, Coops, their defence has been absolutely outstanding, hasn't it? They just trust their systems and stick with it.
Yeah, plenty of ticker though, Bull, from the visitors, from the deep south. That was a great passage of play. Halaholo and Sopuanga coming through. Just that last bit of that last turnover there, or the tackle situation over the top.
I lost count of the
coming in.
I lost count of the phases, Coach.
They looked a different team in those series of phases, didn't they? Looked fantastic, Southland.
As it stands, they'll have to defend again. Now they've given away the advantage. Here goes Weber. Weber takes off. Two points in it. David Morgan clattering into contact. Lonnie Uhila is there again. And will come back for that penalty. And Damien McKenzie may well be able to shut this out with less than 90 seconds remaining.
Well, whatever they do, I don't think they'll be in a rush to do it. Waikato.
Well, remember, they could chase the bonus point. That's the question they have to ask. And instead they say safety first, let's get the W.
Yeah, I think that's a wise decision. They've had to work pretty hard the last 5 minutes. That's for real. Really impressed the way Southland have dug deep and hung in there. That series of phases was brilliant. it's just a shame they couldn't produce that a little bit earlier in the game, because what's let them down at vital times, as you mentioned, as per last game against Wellington, is just giving it up when it really counts.
Well, even tonight, we've seen 3, 4, maybe 5.
Yeah, for sure.
Lots of hard graft going into getting that field position, and then once there, just that crucial error, giving away the penalty, dropping the ball. It's nothing about the effort that this team is putting in.
Oh, been fantastic.
Damien McKenzie gives the post a smile. And could there be a more perfect night for a goal kicker? Take a bow, Damien McKenzie. You're a freak. We'll have the restart, and it may not be over yet. Southland need to get their hands back on the ball, though, because this one will be kicked deep into the Well Network stand. And Weber will do it, and that will do the job for Waikato. They've avoided the late scare, and you can see what it means to them as well. Weber with a try tonight, and a consummate kicking performance from Damien McKenzie. The return of the Beaver ends in a victory. Waikato 30, Southland 25. Well, Waikato's night tonight after conceding 50 points against Auckland last weekend. They put 30 on the Stags, but the Stags came roaring back. 25 of their own. 3 tries apiece tonight. O'Donnell, Weber and Collier for Waikato. Kahukura, Halaholo and Moffat for Southland. Sopawanga very good off the tee, and McKenzie. So it was Waikato's night tonight by 5. Let's go down and hear from their captain alongside Matty Cooper.
Well, Brad, a good performance from the Waikato side. After the Auckland game, you'll be a lot happier.
Yeah, I am. Happy with that we got the win in the end. We made it bloody hard for ourselves in that last 20. So it's good we've got plenty to work on and that sort of thing. But yeah, pleased to get the win.
The defence was good too. The other day, your tackles were a lot harder. Better defence today.
Yeah, I think we had to make about double the amount of tackles that Auckland did last week, and that just paid off. That took a toll on us. And out here, I thought our attitude on defence was a lot better this week. We worked together and were able to snuff out a few of their movements.
Good young first five, Steve Donald back in the colours.
Yeah, I think he's got more caps than the whole backline put together. So yeah, it's bloody good. He's a great man and loves the Waikato. So he's a great addition to our side.
Well done, Brad. Well played, and that's an important win.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Moving on to Big Jamie. And well, you came back into that. That was a close that end to the game. A good performance from Southland in the end.
Yeah, we were pretty disappointed after last week against Wellington. We lost a few players at half time, and today, a bit of the same stuff. We looked really nice, score a try, but we failed to exit after the kickoffs 2 or 3 times, and they cost us really. Just dropping the kickoffs and not getting back into that territory. But I was really proud of the boys, to come back. We could have drifted off in that game, but we come back and nearly nabbed it at the end.
Okay, well, just those little errors, aren't they, creeping in at the moment, this part of the year? Yeah,
it is, we're trying hard, and the boys are a great bunch, and they work really hard for each other, and, we just got to get the execution right, and we're nearly there, as we keep saying. We're nearly a couple of key moments off giving the team a hiding, but, at the end of the day, we've got to be a bit better and a bit harder on ourselves, but as I said, I was proud of the heart that they come back into it.
Good to have you here at the stadium.
Yeah, it's nice to be back in Hamilton. It's had a good couple of years up here, and the Waikato boys, it was a good game today. I enjoyed it.
Thanks.
Cheers, Scoops.
Well, both good men. Brad Weber and Jamie McIntosh giving us their time post-match, and it is a very important win for this Waikato side as they look to force their way into a playoff situation. Wappa's got to join his old mate Stephen Donald. They'll have a couple of tubes tonight and just discuss matters of state and a bit of man love as well, and why wouldn't you? The Beaver and the Wappa and the boys all together, a couple of great men as they leave the field. And Bull, the Southland side, as Jamie McIntosh mentioned, I think you can be proud of their effort tonight, but they do have to get that error rate under control, and then they might start getting those W's.
Yeah, it's about accuracy, isn't it, Sumo? And I admire their courage and they do some good things, but they shouldn't be making the mistakes they make with the experience they have in the side. So I think some of the senior pros in the team need to step up and take some responsibility and show the way for the younger players.
Well, let's have a recap then. 45-28 Auckland over the Turbos. They came back into it as well. Manawatu and Southland likewise tonight. 30-25 they've ended up on the receiving end. Don't forget tomorrow, 7 p.m, the build-up show starts. Wellington taking on Tasman. 2 unbeaten sides and a cross-conference matchup. And then the triple header on Saturday, Harbour against Counties, Bay of Plenty, Taranaki. And we round out Super Saturday with another unbeaten fixture. Canterbury taking on Hawke's Bay. Again, cross-conference. And then Sunday we wrap it all up. Auckland, Otago, and Manawatu take on Northland. But from Hamilton tonight at Waikato Stadium, on behalf of the entire Sky Sports team, Scotty Stevenson wishing you a very safe night.
The 2015 ITM Cup was by the Tui Brewery.